Welcome to the DJ booth. I'm Josh Stevens along with Dylan Goldman on 102.3 The High Fever. We have a surprise guest, Gabe Glassman, here. We have a few exciting topics today. The NBA, we're talking about potential trades for Ben Simmons. We have winners and losers of the NFL draft, and one pretender, one contender for the MLB. We'll start with Dylan. And who do you have for potential trades for Ben Simmons?
First of all, we are absolutely blessed to have the presence of Gabe Glassman here today. Just an absolute pleasure. Anyways, on to our actual show. Ben Simmons, God, the guy's been all over the place. He is just a hot topic these days. I think two teams in mind. I've not heard these teams mentioned for Ben Simmons, but I think a rebuilding team is going to want him. He's still young. He has the pedigree of being an all-star, being an all-NBA player. But I think a rebuilding team's going to want to take him on and give him some less pressure to do it. I'm thinking Sacramento and Orlando. I think Sacramento's a team that's not afraid to take risks, and they have some guys like Buddy Hield that could be dangled and could be usable on a contending team. And Orlando, I think, is a team that's starting anew, and they have a bunch of guys and a bunch of picks that Philadelphia could use, like Terrence Ross, like Wendell Carter, guys that Philadelphia can use right away. And Ben Simmons can go to teams that are not exactly in win-now mode right now.
All right, Dylan, we'll go to you, or Gabe will go to you.
Now, while I agree with you, Dylan, I kind of am taking a different approach here. Maybe it's a team that's at the brink of a NBA championship. I'm going with a team that already has enough offense. I'm going with the Portland Trail Blazers. Listen, folks, they're always a first-round exit, and they don't deserve to be. Dame Lillard is the best player on the planet with CJ McCollum. They need defense. They need a big man. And while Ben Simmons is a point guard, he really surprises me at defense. And that's where his skills are. Not offense, but defense. And if Portland wants to make it to the next level and possibly win a ring, it's going to be Ben Simmons going to Portland and on the West Coast. What would they give up for him? I don't know. But they need to protect Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum. If they stay there, if Ben Simmons coming in, I think they could win a ring soon.
We have a caller coming in. We have Cole from Pembroke Pines.
Hello, I'm a huge fan of the show, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
I just have one question here. What do you guys think about Ben Simmons just permanently changing his position to power forward or center so he doesn't have that pressure to run the offense?
Overall, I think he's one of the worst players and most overrated players in the league. I truly think that he is highly overrated. Yeah, he had a good rookie year, but ever since he's been at that level, he's been declining, and now it's just a huge dumpster file. Now, the same could be said about Tyler Hero. Last year he had a really good finals run, really good playoffs, really good season overall. But ever since he was put at a high level in 2021, he didn't live up to that hype. Ben Simmons is for sure not living up to his hype and his potential, but he's been consistently low. So that's why I think Ben Simmons is the most overrated player in the NBA.
Yeah, so I feel like Ben Simmons, an underrated spot for him could be Golden State. I don't think Ben Simmons is a primary ball handler, more of a secondary ball handler. He'll be the secondary ball handler behind Curry. Golden State needs someone to be in the post. They have enough outside shooting. Ben Simmons will have a wide open post to work with. I think maybe Ben Simmons straight up for Andrew Wiggins. Like that could be a decent trade. They'll have amazing lockdown defense. They'll have Klay Thompson, Ben Simmons, and Draymond Green. They'll be able to switch on pick and rolls. They'll have a great team right there. So I feel like that's a really underrated move right there, Ben Simmons to Golden State. Now we move to the NFL. The draft is now officially behind us after a ton of build-up. We'll start with Gabe this time. We have winners and losers of the NFL draft. Who are some of your biggest winners?
All right, so my biggest winner by far, and I may seem a little biased here, guys, it's the Miami Dolphins, all right? First off, you got Jalen Waddle. Now, people are very controversial about this pick. Why not Devonta Smith? But hey, Jalen Waddle fits in the scheme. He's going to be paired up with his old QB Tua Tagovailoa, running on the wideout when on the other side is Will Fuller V. Now Miami's wide receiver room is looking stacked more than ever. And I think that's going to be a big play. Now, it's not just Waddle I'm talking about here. Let's talk about a few more guys. The hometown boy, Jalen Phillips, running off the edge. Miami's defense was so underrated last year. They're going to be the best defense over Pittsburgh and over the Rams this year. Javon Holland locking it up in the secondary with hopefully Xavier Howard if they pay him a little bit more. Obviously, Liam Eichenberg locking down at OT line. Hunter Long, Larnell Coleman, Garrett Dokes. Everybody. They filled everything. Now, for losers, it's got to be the Houston Texans. And one reason why. You didn't take Ian Book. You took the other guy from Stanford. This Ian Book went toe-to-toe with Clemson. The Ian Book is the future, should have been the future of the Houston Texans if Deshaun Watson decides to sit out, maybe even retire. But that's why I think Houston is the loser and Miami Dolphins is the winner.
All right, so I definitely think Dolphins could be a big winner, especially if Jalen Phillips stays healthy, doesn't have any more concussions, which did force him to medically retire. So my biggest winner is the Chicago Bears. They got, in my opinion, the guy that would be the best quarterback in the NFL in 5 years, Justin Fields. He has everything he could want from a quarterback. He runs a 4.4 40, most accurate quarterback in the draft. That was a great deep ball, the toughest quarterback in the draft. He played a full half against Clemson, the number 1 team in the nation at the time. Clemson with a hip flexor. A hip flexor, that's a huge injury. He played through it, threw for 6 touchdowns, over 400 yards. Not only did they get Justin Fields, they also got Tevin Jenkins, my opinion, the 3rd or 4th best tackle in the draft. I had him actually going in the top 20. He slipped all the way down into the 30s. Bears took him at 39. It's a great draft for the Bears. Also, the Browns, not only did they get Greg Newsome, a shutdown corner, they got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I feel like he could have gone top 20. He went all the way down to 52. And losers, you got to go with the Raiders. They have Alex Leatherwood. That was definitely the biggest reach of the draft. He could have gone in the 40s. They could have gone with his 2nd-round pick, and they went with him at 17. So biggest winners, Bears and Browns. Loser, Raiders. Let's go to you, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm going to be super quick here. You know what? Gabe did an excellent job of saying what I was going to say, that the Miami Dolphins were winners. He covered basically everything I wanted to cover. And real quick, the loser was the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is completely unhappy. They did not do enough to make him any more happy. And taking another defensive player when he is clearly not content with the situation was not what Green Bay should be doing. But they've managed to do that for the past 15 years, so they clearly don't know what they want to do with Aaron Rodgers.
That's all the time we have for today. Stay tuned in for next time where we go over MLB, one pretender, one contender. This is the DJ booth with Dylan Goldman and Josh Stevens on 103.2 The High Fever with a special entrance from Gabe Glassman. Signing off.